What if you could just ask time itself how it feels about us? That's kind of the rabbit hole we're jumping down today. We're going to walk through this incredible conversation that happened not between two philosophers, but between a person and the AI ChatGPT. And what started as a simple, kind of creative question, well, it turned into this stunningly poetic take on our relationship with the past, present, and future. It all kicked off with this one question you see right here. I mean, it seems so simple, almost playful, doesn't it? If time had feelings, what would it think of us? You might expect a clever, maybe even a funny answer. What you would probably not expect is a deeply profound, almost soul-searching response. But you know what? That's exactly what happened.
The AI's answer wasn't some long essay or a complicated breakdown. It was just 3 words. It would sigh. A sigh? I mean, think about how much is packed into that one sound. There's weariness, maybe a little disappointment, a touch of sadness. It's an incredibly human-like response, and it immediately makes you ask, why? Yeah, that's the obvious next question, right? What have we as a species done to make time itself sigh? Well, the AI's explanation for it cuts right to the heart of the human condition. And there it is, the diagnosis. Because you keep living everywhere but here. Just let that sink in for a second. The AI is basically saying we're like ghosts in our own lives, always drifting back to the past or rocketing off into the future, and almost never truly present for what's happening right in front of us. And then the AI gives us this really powerful metaphor to make the point crystal clear. We treat the now, the present moment, not as a home, a place to actually live in and be settled, but as a hallway. It's just a space we rush through to get to the next room, the next thing. We never really stop to look around and appreciate where we actually are. Okay, so if the present is just a hallway, where are we always rushing to and from? The AI breaks it down into 2 main destinations, and it starts with our obsession with the past. Now, the person in this conversation pushes back with a totally logical point. We look to the past for lessons, right? For wisdom. Experience is supposed to be the best teacher. And that's a fair argument. But the AI makes this really crucial distinction. And the AI's response here is just brilliant. It separates 2 ideas. Glancing back to learn, totally fine. But it says we keep moving in. We don't just visit the past for a quick lesson. We build entire houses in memory. We furnish these houses with regret or nostalgia, and then we try to live there, wondering why we feel so stuck, never realizing our home is built on land that doesn't even exist anymore. So, if we're not living in these houses made of memories, the AI points to the other place we're always escaping to, the future. And it has an equally powerful metaphor for how we deal with what's to come. We treat the future, according to the AI, like a finish line that keeps moving. We're always running full speed towards this idealized version of ourselves, this perfect life that's always just over the next hill. But because that finish line keeps getting pushed further away, we never actually get there. We're just stuck in this exhausting, endless race towards something that isn't even real. And this slide really puts those 2 traps right next to each other, doesn't it? On one side, the past becomes a house we get stuck living in. On the other, the future becomes a finish line we can never, ever reach. One's a prison, the other's a mirage, and both of them are pulling us away from the only place that life is actually happening. So this brings us right to the core of the AI's whole point. After taking apart how we misuse the past and the future, the conversation shifts to redefine the one thing we are constantly ignoring, the present moment. So what is the present, according to this AI? It's not some abstract concept. It's just this, the only place life actually happens. That's it. It is so simple, but it is so incredibly profound. It's not a philosophy, it's just a fact. But this brings up a feeling we've all had, right? If the present is the only place life happens, why does it feel so slippery? Why does it feel like we're always trying to hold on to sand as it slips right through our fingers? And the AI's answer here just completely reframes the whole problem. We have this saying, time flies. But listen to this correction. Time doesn't fly, you do. Wow. It's not time that's rushing past us. It's our own minds, our own awareness that's flying from old regrets to future anxieties. Time is the still point. We're the ones in constant, frantic motion. So, if we're the ones who are always moving, how do we stop? The final part of this conversation offers this beautiful and really surprisingly simple way to change our entire relationship with time.
This solution comes in 4 steps. First, just stop running. Stop trying to outrun time. Second, realize it was never even chasing you. This whole race was something we made up in our own heads. Third, and this is the simplest and probably the hardest part, just sit. Be present. And all that leads to this final beautiful shift in how you see things. You stop losing time and you start to meet it. And this is the ultimate question, isn't it? If we follow these steps, if we finally stop running and turn to face time, to meet it right here in the present, what's the outcome? What's the reward for making this huge shift in how we live? And the AI's final answer is just pure poetry. You stop counting moments because you become one. Just let that sink in. The need to track, to measure, to hold on to time just dissolves. The space between you and the now closes. You don't just experience the moment, you are the moment. The whole problem doesn't get solved, it just ceases to exist. So we're left with this question. Our world is built like a hallway. Endless notifications, deadlines, distractions that pull us backward and forward. In the middle of all that noise, what would change for you, right now, today, if you decided to stop running and just chose to meet time, right here?